Hybrid Theory, Linkin Park's debut album, was a massive success. After years of fighting to get a record deal and disagreements with the A&R guys over at Warner Brothers, not only were they able to release the album, but they sold over 4.8 million units and was 12 times certified platinum, and also won a Grammy for the best rock performance for their song Crawling. Now, the band made such a splash in the industry that they were invited to go on large music festival tours such as Ozfest and the Family Values Tour. This success even opened the door for them to start their own music festival called Project Revolution. Now, this was going to be a big part of the music industry for 7 years, and it would feature bands like Mudvayne, Blindside, The Used, and My Chemical Romance. And then after the 7 years passed, they did end up calling it quits and moving on to other endeavors. Amidst the touring and the planning for their next album, Meteora, they remixed Hybrid Theory into another hit album that hit number 2 on the Billboard 200 called Reanimation. Now, this record not only mixed the bass songs from Hybrid Theory, but also remixed the bonus tracks as well. Now, personally, I find this record to be a lot of fun, especially knowing when familiar parts work their way into the mix. It is definitely a record for people who are fans of the band. But I also think that new listeners will also enjoy Reanimation if they've listened through Hybrid Theory. One of the beautiful things about Linkin Park's lyrics and themes is they write about the human emotions and feelings. They don't really touch too much on personal anecdotes or things that they've been through, but rather they focus on the human experience. So, with that in mind, let's go through the album's tracks, starting with one of Chester Bennington's favorite Linkin Park songs, Paper Cut. The mix of genres in this song are fantastic. If you needed to share a song with somebody that really was indicative of what Linkin Park sounds like, Paper Cut is a song that you would want to share with them. Aside from fusing rap and rock and techno, one thing that Chester tried to incorporate within this song was melody. So we get a classic, heavy, and edgy song, but it's also extremely catchy at the same time. As far as themes go, the overarching theme is paranoia, constantly being afraid of, but accepting of the face beneath the skin, our second self that helps protect us, although not always in mentally healthy ways. From there, we move on into One Step Closer, which for me personally is one of my all-time favorite Linkin Park songs, especially the version that you get on the Live in Texas album, because in that one you really get more of Chester's screaming vocals and it's a lot of fun. But here in Hybrid Theory, the studio version is also very good and still one of my favorites. The song is more straightforward rock. It is lacking Mike Shinoda's rapping, but it really showcases Chester's vocals the way they were in the early days. And he always had that gritty scream that really pierced through to your soul. The theme hits hard for people who grew up in an environment where they didn't feel understood, needing space so you can think and breathe, but nobody is giving you that space, so you feel that you're just coming to a point where you're going to break. And Chester's screams demonstrate that inner turmoil. Then from there, we move into the song With You. And I feel that this song doesn't really get its proper due. We get back on track with more of the rapping from Mike and some catchy turntable work from Joe Hahn. Chester's vocals here also sound a bit more gravelly and have more of kind of a deeper kind of growl throughout the song. It's just overall a fantastic song. And this song touches base on attachment, a dependency on someone that you can't let go of. And even though they're not there, your memory of them will not let you let go, and you are keeping them there with you in your mind. Then going into Points of Authority. The ending to this song has some really cool mixing by Joe Hahn. The techno piece at the end is absolutely fantastic, and it really gives the song a life of its own. The lyrics dive into exploring the feelings of being in an abusive relationship, someone who feels the need to share their pain with others so they don't have to feel alone. Now, on to one of the most iconic Linkin Park songs, Crawling, which this was the song that they ended up winning a Grammy for Best Rock Performance. A loss of self, trying to find yourself again, but the scars remain and you can't undo what you've done or escape what you've become. This song has a sound of darkness to it unlike anything else on the record. It almost comes across as an eerie anthem of doom. And anybody who's heard the song knows this to be true, and even though it has a very dark tone to it, it is also a very catchy song as well. Then from there, we get into Runaway. Now, this song really nails down how people feel when they are falsely accused. Sometimes it seems easier to run away than actually facing people who are pointing the fingers. It's another song that has a more straightforward rock sound. Mike does some of the background vocals, but nothing that you could really identify as rapping within the song. Then we come into the song Myself. Moving into the song Myself, we move inside the mind, inside Chester's head, deciding what path to take and whether it's okay to trust ourselves or others. And in the end, we are at a loss of what is real. Speaking of In the End, that is the next song on the record. And In the End is one of the most iconic Linkin Park songs of all time. It brings back more of Mike Shinoda's rapping, about time passing, working hard, and moving forward despite how people treat you. But the reality is, you can work hard, but in the end, it doesn't even matter. This song is very, very nihilistic in nature and has no glimmer of hope to it to look forward to. And despite it being a rather negative song with no hope, people really love the song and are able to identify with the themes within it. Then we move into A Place for My Head. This song has one of the most interesting metaphors on the record, I think, comparing the light that the sun gives to the moon to people who do favors for the sake of expecting something in return. And using the metaphor of the light from the sun to the moon, the sun doesn't expect anything returned to the moon. It just gives out of the goodness of its heart, I guess you could say. Then we have Forgotten. One of the coolest transitions goes from A Place in My Head into the song Forgotten. It's so smooth, and the song Forgotten comes in so hard and heavy. I love the back and forth that you get from Chester and Mike, kind of like dueling vocals, which is really neat. A lot of times in songs you'll get dueling guitars, but not a whole lot of bands are able to pull off the dueling vocal concept, but here Chester and Mike did it extremely well. Then we move into the song Cure for the Itch, and we get a sample of Joe Hahn's DJing abilities. This is purely instrumental with some talking over the top, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a nice break from the rest of the songs in the album, and it is quite an uplifting sound and very enjoyable, and a good transition into the back part of the record. The back part of the record being the final song, Pushing Me Away. Now, finishing out the record, we have the mellowest song on the album. Now, it's not a mellow song by any stretch of the means, but in comparison to the rest of the songs on the record, it is the most mellow on the album. And it brings in lies. Lies cause us to sacrifice who we are and cause others to lose their trust in us. Ultimately, it causes us to sacrifice who we are and who we could be. Overall, this record does an amazing job analyzing human insecurities. Having the opportunity to dive in a little deeper and rekindle my appreciation for this album was a lot of fun. From the rap verses to Chester's gritty vocals to Joe Hahn's work on the turntable, we get a masterful album that is both heavy and melodic, and is infinitely better than other new metal bands of the time. And because of the relatability of the lyrical content, this album has stood the test of time. What is your favorite memory of this record? Do you have a favorite song? Let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button, subscribe, do all the things. It really helps the channel and the community grow, and we would really love to be able to see you here throughout the week and for future videos as well. Next week, we'll talk about what happened leading up to the Meteora record, and we will also dive into the album to see how it differs from Hybrid Theory. I hope to see you here next week, and don't forget to join us for our live stream this weekend. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.